Okay, we don't have much time. You have many other things that you could be doing. So, in a few minutes, I have to cover a bunch of points. This is a pressure cooker. It has a safety valve. The idea is simple. If the pressure inside is too much, instead of turning into a bomb and exploding and killing you, the valve has to move up a little bit and release the pressure. This is called a negative feedback loop. The point is that the pressure cooker has a way to regulate itself so that it does not end up destroying itself. The cool thing is, you are exactly like this pressure cooker. If you don't eat anything for too long, for example, you feel the desire for food build up inside you in the form of hunger. And in order to feel free of this hunger, you have to take some action and get some food. But it's not only for things like hunger. It may be for other things like wanting a cake or a job or a car or a house or somebody to recover from an illness or your partner to behave in a certain way. No matter what you desire, your body has one single trick. It gets you to feel a little bit of discomfort physically or psychologically so that you take some action and stop feeling that discomfort. So in some sense, you are like a pressure cooker. But wait, it gets even more grim. Just like the pressure cooker, you have very little control over this discomfort. It's part of your design. Just like the safety valve is part of the pressure cooker's design. Whether God or evolution or something else entirely designed you to be this way, it does not matter. The fact is, you are trapped in this pressure cooker of a body. What is more, you don't even really have free will. You think you do. You say, I want a cake, so I'm going to get up and get myself a cake. I have free will. Sure. You are right till there. The thing is, the desire to have a cake is out of your control. The feeling of hunger is out of your control. The pain of losing somebody is out of your control. All of these things are part of your design. The person trying to lose weight cannot switch their desire for cakes to their desire for salads, for example. You do not have enough free will to switch your desires. Your design decides your desires. Why does all of this matter? Imagine this point right here represents the reality of your situation. And imagine that this point right here represents how you would like your reality to be. The gap between those 2 points represents your desire. And your desire, as we saw, is useless if it does not cause some pain, some discomfort. Because without that pain, why would you take any action and try to close that gap? So every time you want food, house, mate, money, car, promotion, any of these things, you create this type of gap and desire and discomfort within yourself. And your life is a series of desire gaps. You close one and another one opens up, and you're trapped in this never-ending cycle. And if this is too grim for you and you still feel that no, I have control, then let me give you another little experiment to show you otherwise. Sit down for just 5 minutes and try to focus on your breath and nothing else. This is incredibly hard. Other thoughts will pop in. This is because you are not fundamentally in control of your own brain. Something else is. Okay, so let's get back to the point. What to do about this never-ending trap? I offer 3 solutions. Maybe there are more, but these are 3 that I have. Solution 1. Learn to be okay with the discomfort. There will always be discomfort. This is kind of an art. For me, for example, sometimes I feel discomfort and I try to regulate my mood and offset that discomfort by eating a whole packet of chips. And then I feel even more discomfort because that goes against my desire of being healthy. Recognize that the discomfort that is welling inside you and ask if you can do something to close that gap. If you cannot, accept the desire gap. Feel the discomfort and remind yourself that the discomfort is part of your design. You are trapped with it, so you have to accept it. Solution 2. Realize that the second point and the desire only exists in your mind. If you decide that the second point is not so important after all, the gap vanishes, the discomfort goes away. This solution is especially useful in the desires that you have created for yourself. I need to win a gold medal. I need to be a millionaire. I need to win an award. Do you really need any of these things? Once you get these, will there be no more discomforts or will new ones pop up? And if you're really stuck in this never-ending cycle of desires and discomforts, then achieving this or that goal will surely not free you from anything. On the other hand, maybe once in a while, you can choose to let go of a particular desire. And with it, the associated discomfort will just vanish. Solution 3. Close the gap, but be careful not to get worked up as you do so. This is the most practical solution. Yes, the desire gap exists, and in many cases, you could take some action in order to close the gap. So do so, but do so calmly. The discomfort you feel is part of your design, it is mandatory. You are trapped with it. But if you add layers of worry, anxiety, stress on top of it, you will suffer twice. So, how do you avoid this double whammy? Simply, you just do everything in your power to close the gap. And when you are 100% sure that you have done everything in your power, there is nothing to be worried or anxious or stressed out about. Things beyond this are out of your control, anyways. As Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Karm karo, phal ki chinta mat karo. Now, I know these solutions are not easy to implement, but at least from my personal experience with practice, you can get better. By the way, these ideas are not mine. I stand on the shoulders of giants like Buddha, Richard Dawkins, Charles Darwin, Friedrich Nietzsche, Yuval Noah Harari, Zen monks, and many more.